In these trying times we all no. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. I do not want to hear it. What topics make you go, "Ugh, shut up"? My neighbor will not speak to me unless he is explaining the history of the state of Louisiana in its entirety. Had a guy on my ship who did the same shit. Once he started talking about Louisiana, he would not stop. I've got a neighbor who will only talk about lawn car and how bad I'm on it. Maybe we could connect our crummy knaves and I'll create a conversational black hole. Influencer drama. Popular douchebag 1 calls popular douchebag 2 a poopy head and all of a sudden it's national news. Like, who the fuck cares? My brothers are 11 and 7. I'm 32. Their childhood influences have me fully understanding the horror of adults in my childhood. They only watch YouTubers. Is this what my entertainment looked like to adults? Am I just old, or are they as horrible as I think? Because I still think they are, but old people feel the way about my stuff. But man, they're so awful. Holy shit, your parents had a 24-year period in between the first and last kid, save for the 20 years having the other kid? What the fuck? I get why you might have that impression from my comment, lol, but no. They divorced when I was 13 and both eventually remarried. My older sister is 37, I'm 32, other sister is 23. Then our parents remarried and my mom has 13-year-old fraternal twins. My dad has the 11 and 7-year-old boys. Dad's wife did not think she could have kids. She was very happy. It's been interesting times. At least nobody is pushing me to have my own kids. We have plenty. YouTube drama and social media influencers in general. I don't give a fuck about Logan Paul, but I sure hope Mayweather beats his ass. I'll watch the GIF once, nod my head and then forget it ever happened. Social media influencers. I absolutely despise the word influencer. I'm not even sure what they're supposed to be influencing. I only ever see them hawking cosmetics or some diet thing, but that's it. I never see them pushing something that would be actually influential in my life. So either they're all pretty much useless, or the algorithms on social media aren't spying on me enough. They're basically living, breathing ads, and if I could ad block them from reality I would. When people trash talk people and act like they're being reasonable, I'm just being honest. Oh my gosh, the people who use this as if it's an excuse for being a complete jerk. A friend of mine uses it, then follows up with, "I just don't know how to be political." In these trying times we all no. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. I do not want to hear it. I never want to hear the word unprecedented again. Unprecedented except for the historical behavior during pandemics and the generally pre-established guidelines on how to deal with it. In these trying times, it's important to remember that we still need you to buy our crap. When my students start rambling about whatever half-baked, crackpot half-truths of history that they got from FB/Twitter/whatever, that they believe is the gospel truth. I used to go on Tumblr a lot, and there was always something blowing up about history or whatever that made everyone in their replies go off the rails. One day, one of the posts made me raise an eyebrow, and I looked it up only to find out that only 30% of the post was actually true. After that I fact-checked every post like that, and 9/10 times it was so far from the truth. LMAO, I don't have it, but apparently the same thing happens on TikTok. TikTok seems to have gone from the side where people post themselves doing funny dances to becoming the main hotspot for crackpot theories and conspiracies along with bogus lyrics. The Wayfair selling kids in cabinets one really did it to me. Multi-level marketing boss babes and their sales pitches. If someone goes, "Why aren't we talking about this?" I just naturally assume now that the topic they are referring to is extremely specific to their life and in no way impacts me. Or lots of people are, in fact, talking about this, but they don't know because they refuse to leave their echo chamber. When I'm talking about something I've done or bought and any other person has to try and one-up you constantly, I've recently started replying with, "Of course you have it." They start bragging about something they've done or own that is so much better than my example. Usually these people don't quite get the sarcasm. You've been to Timbuktu, they've been to Dimt 3, you've been to Tenerife, they've been to 11 if you've had sex, they've had 7. Celebrity BS. It's weird people care what complete strangers are doing with their life when they couldn't care less of yours and who you personally are. Stalkerish behavior, emo. Also when good-looking people start going I'm so ugly because they want someone to tell them no you're not for validation. Celebrities do this as well. I like to sell I'm so hot and then wait for people to tell me I'm not. I stop at every mirror I pass and say, God I'm pretty. Nobody ever disagrees, so I assume it's true. When friends from high school bring up drama from high school. Graduation was 10 years ago, sis. My graduation was almost 12 years ago. One of my friends still refers to our high school classmates by their first name alone, as if I'm supposed to know who that is. This is why I'm glad that I don't really have any contact with anyone that I went to high school with other than my twin brother. Yes, Karen, I remember what happened in high school, it's only been 23 years. Drama in work. Honestly I don't give a shit how or why person A doesn't get along with person B, because person C has done or said something. STFU it's a job, grow up and start doing what you are paid to do. Outside of work you can beat each other up all you want. My coworkers are so dramatic, it's rare I get a second of peace without having to hear someone screaming about what this other person did. I'm like, guys, we work at a pizza shop, nothing could be that serious. Those are also the people who say things like I hate drama is usually a lie. If the same person who says I hate drama has ever also said I just tell it like it is 100% a lie. Those people are always drama mongers. Other people's gym routines. Oh my fucking god, preach. I have a brother and used to share a place with him and his then partner. A friend of my brother's used to drive 15 minutes out of his way to go to our place after CrossFit to smoke with my brother and talk about his workout or absorb attention while my brother's ex fawned over his development. Waiting out traffic on the highway, as it were. Never stopped talking about it, there was no conversation he couldn't stay in with his vanity. One day, I shit you not, I get home and make myself a snack and CS isn't far behind showing up. My brother and his ex are on their way out, so I assume this guy will make his visit short because they are leaving, and despite the fact that we were cordial, he and I weren't personal friends nor did we share common interests. The others have left and I'm really interested in my food, to avoid any contact with him because I know what's coming. Peripherally, I can see him, feel his eyes trying to get me to acknowledge his existence, like a puppy in obedience training shaking in readiness for a treat. The very second I lock eyes with him, this motherfucker stretches his arms and starts groaning about his workout. Jumped right in like a pro fucking double Dutch champion, this dude. I straight up, dead nuts hauled him and tell him, you can hang out as much as you like, but I do not want to hear about your workout. I could not care less. I feel like he would tell a good story at a pub. Homeopathy and how it magically cured arthritis of my friend's great-grandmother after all mainstream doctors failing to reduce her pain. When I was 17 I lived in a house with a girl who was deep into homeopathy. Like her mum was a homeopath and had brought her up that way. One morning we were both hanging heavily and she offered me a hangover cure her mum created. I can't remember what was supposed to be in it, but she told me to take one tablet every half hour until I felt better. Each tablet had to be taken with a full glass of water. I declined the pills, but after taking 5 she was bragging how much better she felt. Funnily enough, after 1.5 liters of water I felt better too. Weirdly, she was in uni training to be a nurse. I majored in political science, and trust me, this is almost always my response when someone wants to talk politics with me. The vast majority of the time talking politics just involves hearing someone recite to me the talking points they heard from their favorite media personality. And it is rarely honest dialogue. In most political conversations people are just thinking about how they are going to counter what the other person is saying. There is rarely an attempt to actually listen and understand where the other person is coming from to reach a consensus. It is often just a quarrel that feeds on itself ad infinitum. 100% accurate. Especially the bit where you mention that people are only listening to respond and not to comprehend what the other is saying. It becomes a battle of who is right and who is wrong. Talking to understand can be mutually beneficial. Unfortunately, most political canvassers do not reach this point. How cannabis products cure every possible disease. I swear to God that I used to work with a woman who would recommend pot for everything. She worked in the supplement department of a grocery store, organic grocery store, obviously. She 100% recommended pot to pregnant women to cure morning sickness, fatigue, and to calm the baby she got fired. Decapitated. Just smoke this joint. There was a report I read about from a doctor in Tanzania who studied the effects of how THC will interact with your beheaded corpse. It legit fixes it to try it. Politics where it's turned into an argument and not a debate. I'm right, therefore you are wrong type to put it best.